It is no secret that English has replaced French as the EU's lingua franca. But since campaigning for the European elections officially kicked off after Commission President Juncker's State of the Union, the most used words in Brussels corridors is German, Spitzenkandidat. The head of the European Commission used to be decided by the European Council, behind closed doors. EU leaders met directly after the election to thresh out who would land the Commission top job. But in 2014, the EU chose the presidents of the three main institutions for the first time via the Spitzenkandidaten, or the lead candidate process. The appointment did not depend on an agreement between EU leaders anymore, but on the results of the elections. Jean-Claude Juncker was appointed to the lead of the Commission as the common candidate of all EPP-affiliated forces in the EU. Socialist Martin Schulz, on the other hand, became president of the parliament. Here's how the Spitzenkandidaten process might work if the EU does indeed go down the road once more in 2019. Each political group in the parliament is asked to put forward its top candidate. He or she leads the party alongside other candidates throughout the European election campaign. For this purpose, most political groups will organize party congresses in the coming weeks, where their delegates will pick their frontrunners. By February at the latest, we should know who will be vying for the Commission throne in May. Ideally, the Spitzenkandidaten will face off in debates before the elections, as it was the case also in 2014. The contender belonging to the party that gets the most seats might then be recommended to Parliament for confirmation as the new Commission President. Article 17 of the Treaty of the European Union states that the European Council, acting by qualified majority, shall propose to the Parliament a candidate taking into account the results of the European elections. After the formal nomination, the Spitzenkandidat would have to be confirmed by MEPs. What follows are usually hours of severe grilling, after which the Parliament will vote for or against him or her. If approved, the new Commission chief will take office for the next 5 years. However, if he or she does not obtain majority support, the European Council, acting by qualified majority again, will propose a new candidate within 1 month following the same procedure. Sounds like all things are set? Not entirely. There are no firm guarantees that the jobs will be allocated this way in 2019. For one thing, there's nothing legally binding about the Spitzenkandidaten. Last February, MEPs supported a resolution that rejects any backdoor deals among EU leaders on who to choose to lead the EU executive. They insisted it will reject any candidate not chosen through the Spitzenkandidaten system. However, many EU leaders want the European Council to maintain the freedom of choice to appoint the next Commission President. Emmanuel Macron, Angela Merkel and the President of the European Council, Donald Tusk, believe that the old system guarantees stability and that it would be best to leave this to the elected heads of state. However, a recent poll conducted among European voters shows that they believe that the lead candidate process is a positive step. 63% of them say it would create more transparency. Most importantly, nearly 3/4 of the respondents want this process to be accompanied by a real debate about European issues and the future of Europe. What are the predictions then? If the Spitzenkandidat process is followed by heart, according to current poll predictions, the candidate of the centre-right European People's Party has good chances to take the top job again. Although the link between national parties and the European parties could be really more difficult this time. Besides the political groups, there will be other actors in the arena. A number of movements which don't really align with any political group have arrived on the European scene that could shake up the whole traditional party lines. French President Emmanuel Macron, for example, has not yet aligned his La République En Marche movement with an existing European political family. Then there's also the European Spring with Yanis Varoufakis and Volt Europa, and of course the movement of Steve Bannon, one-time guru to US President Donald Trump. If the EPP and the Socialists fail to win the majority of MEPs, these movements could emerge as the kingmakers. But whatever process is chosen in the end, things certainly remain very exciting. Stay tuned at Euractiv in the following weeks and months, as we will vet the Spitzenkandidaten as they are unveiled.